again to one of my amazing viewers, Ovaltine, for suggesting I do a brunch episode. As many of you know, I actually own an outdoor bistro at the Dallas Farmers Market called the Urban Brunch Company. So it made sense that I would do a brunch episode. So thank you again, Ovaltine, for suggesting that. So that's the perfect state of the water that we want in order to poach our egg. So it's not boiling. It has a little bit of bubbles starting to form on the surface, and that's what we want. So not anything boiling. If it's boiling, just make sure you turn down the heat, because that's not what we want. Next, I'm gonna add in 1 tablespoon of vinegar. Once you put that vinegar in there, the acid in there will kind of help firm up or coagulate the proteins in the egg white so that it can get round like we want it to be and come together. I'm gonna keep swirling my water because I wanna create a whirlpool effect. So once I have that going and it looks like a little teeny tiny tornado in the middle, right in the center, I'm just gonna drop my egg right in the middle of it. If you do see that the whites or the protein of the egg are starting to move around a little, just take your spoon and kind of help put it back into the formation that you want it to be in. We're gonna let that cook for roughly about 3 to 4 minutes. If you're making these for a large group, say you're entertaining and having a pretty large brunch at home and you wanna do this ahead of time, you can totally do this ahead of time. Just, I would suggest doing this for maybe a couple of minutes, and then right before you're ready to serve it, you can pop this right back into the same pot of water, same temperature level. Let that go for about a minute longer just to warm it up a bit, and then it won't be overcooked. So just to recap, make sure you lessen the time, and then you can use the exact same method to reheat your poached egg. So this is perfect. I want you guys to see kind of the consistency, if we can get a shot of what my egg looks like. I have it in my sieve so I can drain it, get all the water out. And can you see me touching that? See how it jiggles? Oh, that's gonna be magnificent when we slice into that bad boy. Have that egg yolk running all over the place. Ooh, it's gonna be so good. I'm gonna teach you guys how to make a hollandaise sauce, but not just any hollandaise sauce. This is gonna be very decadent. Since we're using lobster for our eggs Benedict, we have to have something pretty fancy for our hollandaise sauce, right? So I'm gonna show you how to make a white wine and truffle hollandaise sauce. This is all you're gonna need. We're gonna use egg yolks, my truffle butter, and some lemon juice, fresh squeezed lemon juice, and then we have our white wine. And that's it. As far as seasonings, you can either incorporate cracked black pepper. You can also use truffle salts. Basically any type of seasonings you want to use at that point. So our water is boiling. I'm going to use a kind of a poor man's, or shall I say a budget double boiler method. So I'm gonna set this right over the top. I'm gonna teach you how to not have any leftover hollandaise sauce, which I know it sounds weird. Who wouldn't want leftover hollandaise sauce? This stuff is spectacular, right? But the thing is that it doesn't keep so well. So next I'm going to add my lemon juice to this. Because I'm making 2 servings, it's about roughly 2 tablespoons of lemon juice that I used. Next, I'm gonna add my butter. That's also 2 tablespoons. And if you've noticed by now, the measurements that I'm using, everything is pretty much an even 1-to-1 ratio. So for every egg yolk I use, I'm gonna use a tablespoon of lemon juice, a tablespoon of butter. So you get where I'm going with that. Now in regular eggs Benedict for a hollandaise sauce, you would typically use water, but I'm gonna use a little bit of my white wine instead and incorporate that. And using the same measurements again, don't forget we're using the 2 and 2 and 2. And just let that cook until it's really creamy. And because we're using the double boiler method, it's not going to overcook. We don't want it to scramble, don't forget. So after this is done, we're gonna serve this on top of our lovely, yummy, decadent lobster eggs Benedict. Slice off some of my lobster, a little bit of my spinach, dip it in my oh so runny egg. I know when you're making a cooking show or a show, they say you're supposed to do tiny bites. I don't do that. It was really good. You've got to make this at home. It was super simple. With the tips that I gave you, you can incorporate that, change it up, do whatever you need to do. But you got to make this brunch dish. So good. Here's a quick tip. Obviously, everyone loves chicken and waffles. So what do we love about chicken and waffles? We like chicken and waffles because we're getting something sweet and we're getting something salty and savory. So we're going to incorporate all of those flavors into an easy breakfast or brunch kabob. This is going to be good for kids, good at a party because it's on a stick and less messy. All we did was take donut holes and we skewered it with turkey sausage and fruit and kind of layered that in between. It's so easy, and you're gonna get the exact same flavors as chicken and waffles, just a little bit different. So you're getting the sweet from the donut hole, you're getting the savory and the salty from the sausage here that we have on the stick, and then you also have the fruit. So this is an easy, terrific way for you to incorporate those flavors into a brunch. And it's a little bit different. Like, who serves this on a stick, right? So make sure you check this out also and try that. If you have any tips, feel free to let me know. I love chatting with my viewers, you guys at home. If you have any suggestions or maybe a show I can do in the future, please feel free to drop me a line in the comments below. Also talk to me, engage with me on social media so that I can get to know you a little bit more and get to know what you like. So hopefully you will enjoy this brunch episode as much as I enjoyed cooking it for you.